It is definitely the weekend. What a perfect time to hire it done. Good morning, everyone. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done on the Hire It Done Radio Network. Broadcast out of 97.1 FM, The Ticket, here in Metro Detroit. What's the best deck for your home? If you ask me, the best deck is the one that's installed properly. So be careful who you hire when you're getting a deck done in your house. Got a great show lined up for you today. Lots of fun, lots of information. And I want to start off with just letting you know that this is the home improvement radio show that teaches you, the homeowner, how to fix, repair, or remodel everything within the four corners of your lot. You see, I'm not a do-it-yourself show. However, I'm not anti-do-it-yourself. I want to teach you how to hire it done. I want you to know that when you're hiring a contractor, it should be hassle-free. And that's the way home improvement should be, hassle-free. Now, if you end up getting a headache, then the best part is making sure that you have a contractor who's solution-minded. And that's what we do here at Hire It Done. We find you great contractors. We find you ones that understand that the best deck doesn't have to be composite. It could be one that's installed properly. That's really the key. But an advanced contractor that it could qualify for Hire It Done, that's the guy who I would recommend. So with that being said, always visit hireitdone.com. Always listen to the radio show. Share the information. Share my content because I want to help you hire good contractors. That's the way it is. And of course, if you're thinking of remodeling or you ever have a question for me, you know that I'm here to help you, right? And I've got a really, really good show lined up today. At 7:30 this morning, we've got Christiaan Deasy from Christiaan's Gutters. He's bringing one of his crew members on today on the show. And we're going to be talking about installing gutters, gutter protection. Does everybody you know need protection? Hire It Done recommends you use protection for your gutters, that is. Anyways, my point is we have him coming on. Then I've got Michael Stoskopf. He's the CEO of the Michigan Home Builders Association. And we're going to be talking about the home show coming up and how to prepare properly for it. You're thinking of remodeling? What a great place to go to figure out if the home show is a place to find a good contractor. And of course, there's a ton of home improvement contractors that are part of Hire It Done there. So we're going to give you tips on how to survive the home show, how to get the best information, how to maximize your time, and have some fun there. But first, I want to answer this week's mailbag question. Dear Adam, I use my garage unattached as a workshop, and I want to install a heater for the winter. The garage has electrical, but nothing else. What's the best way to heat my garage? Now, let me say this. That's a really good question. Well, obviously, the low-hanging fruit is to put an electric heater in there. But there's a lot of how would I say, a lot of offers and a lot of solutions to this. So let's break it down. You have a garage that's unattached. You have a heater for your garage. I have a heated garage, but mine's attached, and I have a gas heater. And it comes out of the ceiling, and it has a little thermostat on it. And let me just say this. Whoa, do I love it. I love my heated garage. Heated garage falls in the category of a heated towel warmer, a heated toilet seat, or a heated floor. That's what I think. Anything heated in Michigan is so good. So what is your option with just electric? Well, you can do an electric heater. The key is if you're going to do a convective heater, radiant heater, that's where you need to know. So I would suggest, obviously, if you have an electric heater, to get a 4 or 6 foot electric baseboard heat unit. Now, the problem I have with that is that electrical bill is going to be pretty high if you keep it on all the time. Or put it on a timer. If you know you're going to use your garage, again, electric heater in a garage, let's say your garage is 20 by 20, 2-car garage, detached. That's something that you really should understand that will take you in the cold weather with an electric heater a couple hours to heat up. So now you can also supplement and get a propane portable heater, but you got to ventilate the garage because you get the fumes. But my advice to you is find an electric heater. They have some that are made from a company called eHeat. It's a convective heat system, and it's pretty inexpensive. It's like $100 for your garage. You probably need 2 or 3 of them, and you could turn them on, and it'll take a couple hours to heat up, but it's very inexpensive on the electrical bill. So check those out. And if you ever have any questions about that, email me. Adam@hireitdone.com is my email. Adam@hireitdone.com. And first, before we take a quick break, I want to talk about Salt Sale Saturdays at Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions in Brighton and now open in Waterford. Every Saturday, you get DuraCube regular at an unbelievably low $5.99 a bag. That's a 40-pound bag for $5.99. And if you want to get the DuraCube red out, it's only $6.99 a bag. And, of course, if you want potassium chloride, the good stuff, that's $19.99 a bag. Plus, they'll give you a 5-gallon bottle of water for $2.99 each. So think about that. I had them do work in my house. I love my water. I am so thrilled and happy. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. I've got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. We're talking about how to save energy in your home. Tom, give your cell phone out on the air right now.
My cell phone, 586-298-4422.
298-4422. Area code 586. Got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. Tom, you got fiberglass insulation, you got cellulose, you got spray foam. Is there a choice? Which was the one that you, in your own home, what's the one you want to use more than anything else?
Well, I'll tell you exactly. I have cellulose in my walls, cellulose in my attic, and I have foam in all the bond plates. I live in a home that's on a crawl, so I have the crawl walls are all done with foam insulation, the closed cell foam. So you
got a good combo.
Oh, I've got my home is insulated as well as you're ever going to insulate it.
So does the foam insulation have off-gassing? People are like VOCs, volatile organic compounds. Is there a problem, a risk?
No, okay. There is not. I've never, ever experienced someone who needed to leave the home as a result of foam being installed.
Now, let me ask you this. The homeowner calls you up and says, I heard you on Hire It Done. I want you to insulate everything, my whole house. I want it done. Do the whole house. You do the whole house. Do you recommend, now that you've tightened the house up and it's really good, do you recommend they call a heating and cooling company and make sure the furnace has got good makeup air and it's got good combustion air? Because now that the house is tight.
And a humidifier.
Oh, okay.
You've got to have a humidifier.
Because that'll dry everything
and you're going to need a dehumidifier
so
the summer months.
Okay, sure. Because that's really what makes the house like a really working machine.
That's right.
Okay, I'm okay with that. And I wanted to, that's why I was asking, because some homeowners don't need to know there's other connected things in a house that do that.
Yeah, the insulation has a wide range effect on the overall functionality of the home, and you need to be educated. And let's face it, we're here today. You're on the show every Saturday morning for the simple reason you want educated homeowners. You want people to get the opportunity to learn more every day about their home.
I appreciate you telling me that. And yes, that's what we're here for. We're here to educate homeowners, because if you're educated on the product, on the topic, Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. One of the things that I stress with any home improvement project is the importance of getting everything in writing. Knowing what you're not getting is the topic of this segment, okay? You see, I tell people this is advanced home improvement. So if you're like a rookie contractor and you want to learn a little bit right now and you want to become a better contractor, just listen to this advice right now because it really does help you, the contractor, and the homeowner. It serves both parties. And I say that with confidence, not cockiness. A lot of people take this the wrong way, but I'm doing this to educate you, the contractor who's listening, and you, the homeowner that's listening. So take this advice for the best way you can. And so getting everything in writing, you've heard that many times on many shows and many informative articles or home improvement blogs. And they say, get everything in writing. Make sure everyone's licensed and insured. Okay, well, that's the basics. Of course you should do that. And by the way, always do that. But this is it's super true in renovations. That's because renovation projects contain a lot of moving parts. And when I say renovation, I'm talking about a bathroom, a kitchen, a room addition, a multi-trade job. And they have overlapping schedules. They work on the same house at the same time. It's a management project. So if something goes wrong or gets forgotten, that's when you need to have what was supposed to occur written in the contract. You got to understand, when you meet with a contractor and you sign a contract with a contractor, the day you sign could possibly be a day that's like 30, 60, 90 days after you first met them. And no work has even started. So you had all these conversations and you're not sure what you remember he promised or not. That's why the written document is so important. And then when the job starts, you then have to rely on that document to make sure. See, a lot of times homeowner interview 3, 4, 5, 6 contractors. I don't recommend more than 3, but you've interviewed how many? One may have promised you something, the other one didn't, and then the one you chose, you think he said it. It's a long situation, and that's why it's so important to get everything in writing. But it gives you something to fall back on and show the contractor that a mistake was made. And mistakes happen all the time. I always pound the heck out of people, and I always pound this in my show. One of the characteristics of a good contractor is one that's solution-minded, meaning when a problem arises, you solve it. Understood, friends? Solution-minded contractors are the top of the heap. Now, having it in writing helps you. A mistake happens all the bit. That's why the 4 most important letters in any business agreement are C, Y, O, and A. Right? And we'll talk about how to cover your own ASS. Right? I can say that on radio. Cover your ass? Yeah. It's one of those things. It's all good, though. Anyways, it's just not bad contractors who make mistakes. You got to understand something. Good contractors make mistakes too. That's why great contractors are the ones who want it in writing too. As important as it is to have it in writing what's included, and here it is, folks. It's also important, equally, if not more, to have what is in writing, what's not included. Think about that. Make sure your contractor puts what's not included in writing. That is the advanced contractor, what would I say, quality management tool. That's why we put things in writing. Whenever I say this, I always get at least one email from someone who thinks I'm full of it. Last week I had a guy email me saying, you're so arrogant, you're so pompous. Okay, well, I'm allowed my opinion, so are you. Thanks for telling me that. I don't mean to be arrogant, I mean to be assertive. I don't mean to be cocky, I mean to be confident, okay? Some people have a little bit of a definition confusion. So I apologize to the people who don't understand that. Sometimes I have to make sure that I communicate in a way, and I don't always. I'm always learning, and I'm always trying to get better, but I'll get there. But don't take it from me. Let's talk about some of my contractors who do this and who implement this and who, when I talk to homeowners who have had used these contractors, they feedback and I say, and I always ask a homeowner, you liked Segi remodeling? You liked Segi renovations? What was it about him? Well, we did this. And I always said, hey, did you have any problems on the job? And they're like, oh, my God, you won't believe what happened. I said, well, how did he handle it? Oh, my God, he stood behind it. He was there the next day. He took care of it. He apologized. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, that's my boy. So let's talk about specifics. One of my top renovation contractors, and it's Jim Seggy of Seggy Renovations. In his exact words, Jim says, it's just as important to know what you're not getting as it is to know what you're getting. That's how I preach on the Higher Ton Show. Finished Basements Plus. Steve Iverson, his whole crew does that. Hard Rock Stoneworks. You see what I'm saying, friends? There are so many contractors, and I always, when I interview contractors, part of the pre-screening, I ask them, what happens when there's a problem? We talk about solving problems, being solution-minded. And so here's the thing. For Jim Seggy's contracts, he wants it simple. He wants it clear to both parties what he is and isn't supposed to do. If the agreement is for granite countertops and new cupboards without touching the floor, then that needs to be in the contract. Because the contractor, you don't want to leave yourself vulnerable to the homeowner turning around and saying, no flooring was included. And as the homeowner, you want to make sure that you've covered if the demolition crew shows up and starts tearing out your flooring. This is what I say, CYOA, cover your own ass. That's important, my friends. What about a countertop? Does the countertop include a backsplash? A lot of times people don't know, oh, well, isn't a backsplash part of the countertop? Those are the items. How about in a deck, right? How about a deck? Oh, you wanted railing? You wanted glass? You wanted lighted steps? You wanted it on an angle? Oh, you wanted hidden fasteners? Think about that. A good contractor is going to give you all that up front. And he's going to tell you what's included and what's not included. Another thing that Jim talks about is he wants to be judged on his weeks, not on his days. Think about that. We had a good week. We had a good day. I prefer to have a good week. And let's talk about why that's relevant. If the inspector can't make it that day or the painting crew's running late, the last thing you want to do as a homeowner is micromanage and start trying to take over the project. You hired the contractor to run the project, so let the contractor do their job. That's pretty prophetic. At the start of the week, you want to know as a homeowner that X, Y, and Z will be completed. If it's Tuesday and X, Y, and Z are not finished, then that's not the time to panic. Does that make sense, friends? Instead, have regularly scheduled weekly calls or meetings set up where you can review what was and what was not completed. We call it the bi-weekly walkthrough. Has anyone heard of a bi-weekly walkthrough? Let me break that down for you, okay? The bi-weekly walkthrough is every other week. You meet on the job site with the contractor, the project manager, and both homeowners, and all you do is review. Hi, let's review what happened last week. Let's review what's happening this week, and then let's talk about what's going to happen next week. That gives you a 3-week timeline for you to talk about. It lessens all the headaches. I want to thank Jim Seggy from Seggy Renovations for helping me in that segment. Let me tell you something, friends. If you ever need help, just email me, adam@hireitdone.com. Coming up next, I'll be joined by Christiaan Deasy, Christian's Gutters. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Higher Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Higher Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation in the studio. We're talking insulation, saving money. So, Tom, let me ask you a question. You hear R49 is what people need. A lot of people say, oh, I was told R60. Now, we have what we call the law of diminishing returns, where if you go too much insulation, it doesn't help. So when you say R60, that's where you're at I think it's the limit to maximize the savings. Is it yes or no?
Adam, you've brought up a very good point. Yes, in one word, the answer is R60 is the probably the point of no return. You don't want to go past R60. Now, I've got a very, very defined method in which I approach that conversation of R49 up to R60 or opposed to R60. And my definition is people my age get R49, people your age get R60. And it all has to do with return on investment. And,
Interesting.
yeah, everything that I recommend in a home environment, when I'm in your home recommending what's best for you, I'm not interested in what's best for me. It's you that I'm concerned with. And at your age, the additional cost, which is minimal, but the additional cost can be justified and paid back in a reasonable length of time for someone your age group versus somebody in my age group.
Okay.
So I recommend to what I'll call us old senior citizens, I'll recommend R49 all the time. To the younger folks, I'm going to recommend R60 most of the time.
Now, how much price difference is it?
You know, typically, let's just throw in 20 cents per square foot. If your home is 1,200 square foot, it's $240.
Oh, okay. So if you have R11 in the attic and you go R49 on top of it, you don't take what's there out. You leave it and you go right over it.
That's right. So what I'm doing when I come to your home, I'm evaluating what you currently have, what material, what shape it's in, the ventilation of your home, and what it's going to take to get it to the next level. And we go on top of, unless you had a catastrophic event where there's either water damage and or fire damage, and then we do removals.
Yeah. How often do you do air insulation? You remove it all out, and how hard is it to
Well,
suck
we're
all that out?
fortunate. Dana Insulation has wonderful relationships with some of the best restoration companies in the country, not just the state. And that's where we're doing our removals more often than the residential market.
Sure.
And I would say we do it 10% of the time.
So insulation, let's talk about the different types. You got cellulose, you got fiberglass, you got Welcome back. Shout out to Jason Schlegel, local locksmith company. Randy the King Davis, get that basement done. Go to Hire It Done. We'll take care of you. Anyways, you have a question, go to Hire It Done on Facebook. We're live. You can watch us in studio. You get to get live feedback with me. I like to battle with my listeners. I always have fun. And if you have a question or comment on Facebook Live, do that. Or just go on 97.1 the ticket or text us 97136. You always can get to me there. If you have something nice to say, that would be nice. If you're going to have something negative, I don't want to hear anything negative. That would be terrible, right? Anyways, but you know how you are when you're a keyboard gangster. You have fun with that. So let's do some home hacks right now because I like when you hack your home. And at Hire It Done, we want to give you a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of love. And you know how it is. So, and first up is a batch of my, what I'll call healthy home hacks. Yeah, that's my nickname, Healthy. And since it's New Year, and if you're new to the show, a home hack, just for everyone who's clear, is any trick, shortcut, or novelty method to do something more efficiently in your home. Like here, let's use coffee bag ties. Did you ever go to get a coffee bag? Anyways, they have these heavy-duty ties to keep them all airtight. The ties are handy for securing small coils of electrical cables, rope. Even you can use your Christmas lights you can do them for, or maybe a extension cord, things like that. So it's pretty good. And you just rip them off the bag, and it's easy to pull off. Now, how about a wine cork caulk saver? That's right. Did you know wine cork? Say that 10 times fast. They're great for sealing partially used tubes of caulk. Think about that one. Drill a 5/16 hole into the cork about an inch deep. The cork fits perfectly and makes an airtight seal. So here's the thing. You don't stuff the cork in the tube. You stick the tube in the cork. That's the difference. Remember that. And if you drill a little hole, it's really cool. Now, did I make that up? No. Doing my content research, friends. That's how I find that. How about a 6-pack shop organizer? What's that? 6-pack cartons, the cardboard ones, are useful for storing and transporting items like a spray paint, lubricants, caulks, any kind of can. And you put those together. Yeah, when you get your gift of your craft beer, take the bet. Those are kind of cool, the packaging. Use them. How about a luminous light switch? A dab of glow-in-the-dark paint means no more groping for the light switch in the dark. You can buy glow-in-the-dark paint in any hardware store or home center. Think about that. Put a little bit on your on the nail heads, the screw heads, or around it. You wouldn't even know, but at night when it lights up, you're like, yeah, that's kind of cool. How about monetary measurements? Next time you're shopping for furniture and you forget a measuring tape, simply remember this. A dollar bill is about 6 inches long. So you always have an approximate measuring tool in your wallet. How long is a $100 bill? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, no comments, my friends. How about a flash finder? When you drop something small and you can't find it, turn off the lights and shine a flashlight across the floor. Transparent items like a contact lens will glimmer. Other objects like screws will cast a shadow marking their location. Kind of neat. You know what I hate is when I want to use the flashlight on my my phone, it never turns on the way. I just can't get the flashlight to go on properly. I have an iPhone, but I want that button. Maybe you can customize the buttons on an iPhone. Never thought of that. Maybe that's something we should do. How about drain clogs? What do you do when your drains are clogged? How about using a wet dry vac that can slurp clogs out of a plugged drain? Even plumbers use the trick sometimes. If you need to increase suction, seal around the nozzle with a wet rag. Sucking out the drain clogs. That's kind of gross. It's like if you have your nose is plugged. Just gross. Anyways, how about an extra towel bar? Not enough space to hang towels in your bathroom? Add a second shower curtain or rod, and you'll have plenty of room. As an added bonus, your towel will be within easy reach. It's kind of cool. I never thought of that. Anyways, that's a lot of information for you. So we got rain today. It's raining out. We got gutters. We're going to be talking about how to get the rain away from your house. We're going to talk about foundation leaks. We're going to be talking about, do you call a plumber? Right now, if your sump pump is working overtime, if it stops working, if your basement is flooded, think about that. I just knocked out 4 tradespeople. Gutters, making sure the water goes away from your house. Basement waterproofing, because if the water's going into your foundation and going down, you've got to dry your basement out. And then if it goes into your sump pump, which is designed to do, and your sump is pumping it out and it's not pumping it all the way, you need a plumber. And guess who I have? A Motorola V. When you shake the phone, flashlight comes on. I love that, dude. That's cool. Anyways, let's talk about plumbing for a second. Go in your basement today. Your sump pump should be working. If it's cycling all the time, you might want to make sure that you're protected. I recently talked to Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical. Maybe you guys know him. He's one of our all-star plumbers. He's got probably the premier plumbing company in Metro Detroit. And he's got this really cool sump pump apparatus that's a battery backup, water alarm, everything combined. Every homeowner should have one, to be honest with you. And they make lighted switches. I love that. Thanks, Kenny. It's a good idea. But getting a sump pump that lasts and one that gets the water out and doesn't break. Because remember, with a pump, there's some working parts. So you got to make sure that you get the right sump pump stuff. Infusion, Aetna Supply. You know, Aetna, they're one of the largest plumbing supplies. They have some really cool sump pump monitors. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. Anyways, my point is at Hire It Done, we have contractors like Shelby Mechanical who will come out and solve that for you. We've got contractors who will waterproof your basement if water's coming through the foundation. I have a friend who has a brand new house. It's already leaking the foundation. He just moved in 30 days ago. Can you imagine how embarrassing? If I'd be the builder, I'd be embarrassed, especially when they're not just running out to take care of it. But, of course, my friend, I've talked him off the ledge. He's like, oh, I'm calling an attorney. I'm doing this. I'm like, no. Communicate. Write it all down. And do it that way. You're all set there. But anyways, finding a good contractor is always the best way to do. It's like trying to find a good dentist or a good doctor. Where do you go? So just for you and your own sake, friends, this is important to do that. So I want to make sure that when making a decision, you figure it out and go. Get a good contractor. So if you are thinking of hiring a contractor, where do you go? Google? You'll call a friend? There are 1,000 places you can go today. How do you know you're getting the right contractor? That's the key. And I'm one of the people in that pond. Hire It Done. What's different about Hire It Done than anyone else is that I'm local. I'm here to help you, the homeowner. I'm accessible. I'm not some digital only where you just go on a website and you hope to find somebody. I'm an actual real person. I'm born and raised in the home improvement business. I'm a 4th generation contractor. That's all. I have this uncanny knowledge of the business. And it's important that you as a homeowner can trust my advice. I'm not going to give you bad advice. That's why it's so fun. And of course, I want you to enjoy that with you. So what else can you do? There's a lot you can do, okay? And so once you find a contractor, you have to be armed with the right questions. I mean, the real right questions, right? Let's just talk about gutters for a second. I've got Christiaan Deasy coming on next. Christiaan's Gutters. He's a professional gutter company. That's all he does is gutters. So if you think you need gutters or you think you need gutter protection, think about both of those. I'm going to ask him the questions that you want to ask. So you're going to have good information. And if you want to watch us on Facebook Live, just go to Facebook, go to Hire It Done, go to 97.1 The Ticket. We stream on multiple platforms. And we're going to give you advice that you're going to find priceless. And it's free. Free. Wasn't that Glenn Hagee's favorite price? Free? I'm all about free. So I want you to know, get a pen, get a piece of paper. Pretend you're sitting in a coffee shop with me, okay? That's the best part. Just pretend you're in the coffee shop. You're joining my conversation. In fact, I'm inviting you right now. Go to Facebook Live, watch the conversation. Join us. Join me. And we're going to talk gutter protection, why everyone needs protection. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
And we're busy. We believe we're experts in all aspects of insulation as well as ventilation, which you so importantly mentioned moments ago. And that's something folks don't always know, and we really need to keep them educated on their own homes and the best way to both insulate and ventilate their homes.
Well, that's the key. The insulation is good, but if you don't have proper ventilation,
it won't work.
Or if it's installed wrong,
that's a problem.
Right, a big problem. And that's what we're finding out with a lot of homeowners. So let's get right to the chase. Homeowners want to save a little bit of energy. You got the average house. They say, all right, I heard Adam. I called up Dana. What's the first thing you're going to do for the homeowner?
Well, it's a wide gamut of what the folks are looking for. But traditionally, what I want to do each time someone makes an inquiry is I want to get out to their home. I want to look at their home, their circumstance. There's really no two jobs exactly alike, and so everybody's home is a little bit different. The first thing that folks are looking for is give me a generic number. Give me some kind of an idea of what the range of cost is to insulate a home. And I think most of the time they're surprised to hear it's a little less than what they were thinking it would be. But that doesn't do justice to the whole process, and I'm a guy who believes in process.
That's the best. Yeah.
We need to explain in great depth to our potential client what we can do for them, what we can bring to the party, and why it probably is a good idea for them to entertain that idea.
Well, that's what we're in, the information business, right?
That's right.
Saving people money, giving them good information so they make good decisions.
That's right.
It's always a good way to do that. So how was business for 2019? Was it a good year?
We had a great year, probably our largest year ever. I expect 2020 to even be bigger. There's so many building projects going on, as well as the retrofit market or existing home market, that I anticipate even a bigger year in 20.
So homeowner says to me, Adam, I just want to put insulation in my attic.
That's fantastic. Got to start somewhere.
Right?
That's
so
right.
You come out to the house, there's already, let's say, 6 inches of like vermiculite.
Well, in the case of vermiculite, it's funny you made that choice. Unfortunately, very few people know what vermiculite or zonulite
what is it? Cork, chopped up? Looks like a cork from wine bottles that are all chopped up, but it's not. It's a little poisonous.
Yeah, it potentially has a high count of asbestos.
Right.
And
of course it does.
Many folks, of course, you had a home inspector on moments ago. I'm sure he's run into many, many cases where he has forewarned potential buyers that zonulite and or vermiculite need to be looked at and possibly tested for asbestos. Anyway, my point, back to your question, is the first thing I'm going to evaluate is what a client has in their attic. Not just inches, the type of material, and what R value. And, of course, we know R stands for resistance to heat.
Right.
So the higher the R value, the more efficient the insulation in that attic is. Our goal here in Michigan is to achieve a minimum of R49, and most folks are very surprised to find out that
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. Good morning. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great morning. Little rain, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's all good, though. If you want to watch us on Facebook, give us a little look. Go to Hire It Done on Facebook or 97.1 The Ticket. You have any questions, you can text us 97136. As you know, Hire It Done is in 38 markets now, and we're the largest home improvement network here in Metro Detroit and around the Great Lakes. And we want to help you, the homeowner, find the best home improvement advice so that when you hire a contractor, you don't have headaches. And if you do have headaches, at least you'll know what the questions to ask, and you'll know how to be hassle-free or how to find the solution-minded contractor. And now, speaking of solution-minded contractors, we've got in studio Christiaan Deasy from Christiaan's Gutters. Good morning, Christiaan.
Good morning. Thanks for having us back.
Of course, man. You're awesome. And you brought one of your top employees. His name's Josh Norris. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. How you been?
I'm doing all right. Glad to be here.
So, Josh, how long you been installing gutters?
I've honestly been doing this for about 15 years.
Dang.
I know it doesn't look that way, but I was born into this.
So, like, Josh Norris has been doing it 15 years like an expert. You're like a ninja a little bit.
Essentially, yeah.
The people, we got to ask you because everyone wants to know already. People want to know, are you related to Chuck Norris?
I pretend I am.
That's the best thing to do, right? You might as well.
Absolutely.
Because think about it. You could just say, I'm related to Chuck Norris. Your gutters, I'm just gonna karate chop your gutters, and they're gonna, be all set. So
Sometimes they do come off that way.
Oh, yeah.
you got to do what you got to do, right? So Christiaan, let me ask you a question. Since you're a hired done contractor, how's the business so far? Are you looking up for 2020 to be a really busy year?
Yeah, we're excited, and the weather's been warm, so we've been working, and it's a good weekend to talk about gutters with this
Rain.
The danger right now is some of the ground's still frozen.
Yeah.
A lot more of that water might be running against your house.
Well, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. So right now, currently, we're in, winter time. It should be snowing, not raining. However, I'm not going to get into the global climate change argument. I'm just going to get into it's raining. We got about 12 inches of frost in the ground. Probably not more than that, even though we got to usually go, 42 inches or whatever. The key is water's not going to drain down. It's going to sit on the surface. It's going to migrate there, and then it'll either pitch back into your foundation or not. So when gutters are put on a house, you have the downspouts and you have where the water goes away from the foundation. Is there a correct amount of space or a foot or length that a gutter should go away from the house, in your opinion? Is there a minimum, Christiaan?
Our standard is like 3 or 4 feet, but it really varies depending on your landscaping, your gardening, the grade.
So there's a lot of things that impact that. Okay, so Josh, let me ask you a question because you install the gutters.
Absolutely.
Typically, when you have the downspout and when it hits the ground, is it a hard piece? Is it a flexible piece? Because you see the big box stores today, and they got those snakes. You accordion, you pull them apart. What do you guys use?
Well, we use our own downspouts as extensions to, about 3 to 5 feet at the bottom. So they're a hard piece. You can obviously have the flexible ones, which they work as well.
Does a homeowner ever have those on the job site and say, hey, after you put your piece, will you connect my piece?
Absolutely, they do. Some prefer it.
Okay, and is that a hindrance or a help?
It really doesn't really matter either way unless, like I said, unless it's preference for the homeowner.
Okay.
Certain slopes, certain angles, maybe they want it to turn a certain way, maybe they want the water to run a certain way. And that's usually the best way to do it.
So, Christiaan, when you're out evaluating a homeowner's house and you see the grade, do you ever say to them, hey, listen, it's better off if we go a little bit longer, or in this situation, we should turn the downspout this way? Do you recommend that to them?
Definitely. And that's probably, paying attention and caring about the job we're doing. That's probably why we get a lot of the jobs we do.
It's attention to detail.
Yeah.
You're very thorough.
But, everybody doesn't need us right now, and, who knows when they're going to call us. But everybody with this weather today and the frost should, after the show, get their umbrella, walk around your house, check it out, see if there's any flooding, see if there's any water against your house, and try to mitigate any future problems.
And that's the best part. In my opinion, a house should have gutters, and it should have the gutters draining the water away from the house. Your roof is your biggest umbrella in the house. Where does the water go, right? Down the gutters. I see houses with big overhangs that don't have gutters. I'm thinking, so what are they thinking? And gutters are tricky sometimes. 2-story house, how do you get it down, going around, coming across? There's a little science to it. And so each job that you do, Christiaan, is unique to the homeowner, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I thought. So let's talk about any trends in gutters. Obviously, back in the day, it was a 4-inch gutter. Now today it's 5 and 6?
And 7 and 8 and on up.
What is the one that you prefer for Michigan climates? Is there one? Is there a for the perfect scenario, what gutter do you like?
Most houses in Michigan, we really like 6-inch.
Okay.
It's bigger than the norm. Which
Can
is
handle a lot
5-inch.
more water.
Yeah. You see a lot more of that 7 and 8-inch in Florida, where you got more hurricane kind of stuff happening. But
huge downpour.
I mean, the trend might keep going up like it did from 5 to 6. Also, the water volume and erratic weather may keep pushing the.
And that's what I wasn't sure.
Too.
Okay, so if it's 6-inch gutters, I guess it makes sense to me. So the question is when people have gutters that are existing but they're leaking, like I can't stand when I see in a corner water dripping out of the corner. What causes that? Do you know?
couple different things. So it may just be bad pitch or a clog, and it might not be dripping out of the quarter. It might look that way because it's coming over the top.
Okay.
The gutter's full, or the caulk was never done, or it's failed over time, 20, 30 years.
What do they make that do they make like a tape that you put in the inside of the corner? Is this how BS, or does it really work?
Like the rubber in a can stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not entirely sure that it works. I know our sealant stays forever. Really,
Okay.
you got to
What do you
cut
use, Quad,
into it.
or what do you use?
What's that?
What do you use?
What is the brand that we use?
Quad?
GeoCell 2320
Okay.
is our favorite gutter, narrow seam and gutter sealant. The flex stuff, I've pulled a lot of that out of corners. I don't really think it works for that purpose.
Like the idea of it, though.
I think there's a lot of things it is good for, but not gutters.
Okay. Yeah. So if someone says, "Oh my God, there's water coming out of my gutters right now," and it never cleaned them out, can they call you, and can they have you come out in the next couple of weeks, do a cleaning, and then give them new gutters or fix them or repair them?
They'll call him and send me.
Is that what it is? It's an easy solution, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and our January and February are our slowest time of year, so you might not be waiting as long, especially if the weather's right in the 50s in January. We're gonna want to jump on that gutter cleaning quickly while we can.
Yeah, so I have a friend who recently contacted me. Her name's Lauren, and shout out to Lauren if you're listening this morning.
Hello.
She has clogged gutters,
Okay.
and she keeps saying, "I got to get them fixed. I got to get them clean. What do I do? I'm like, just go to Hired Done, and my guys will come out there, you know." So she's like, "Yeah, I'll get it." Well, I know she's listening today, so we're gonna pressure her into giving you guys a call. So we're talking with Christiaan's Gutters, Christiaan Deasy, the owner, and we got Josh Norris, one of his installers. If you want to get your gutters inspected, cleaned, gutter protection, give him a call, 586-698-2337. The website is christiansgutters.com, and Christian, it has 2 A's. I love that. That's really cool. That is a memorable way to do it, which is good.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, right. So, Josh, let's talk to you for a second about the installation of gutters. Okay. Typically, you come out on a site. What about when a homeowner has some rotted soffit or fascia? And do you have to replace that, or?
Absolutely, we have to replace it.
Okay. What if it's, if the homeowner doesn't know, there's obviously a charge for that?
There is a little bit of a charge.
You carry one by on your truck, right?
A little bit of one by. We like to have it in advance. Actually, we like to know what we're doing before we get there. So
Okay.
I don't like to show up and have any unexpected surprises, But we always carry it on us. It's always a possibility that board does need to be replaced.
Okay.
And honestly, it takes a little bit more time, but make it look good when it's done.
I figured as much. And so the gutter jobs that you're installing now, does it take a lot of them use gutter protection?
A lot of them should have gutter protection, but it's not as much as you think yet.
Okay. Now we're gonna talk about gutter protection when we come back. If you want to keep it locked in here, my friends, gutter protection, yes or no, when we come back. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. 4th generation contractor, home improvement expert, and just generally nice guy. Just ask all my friends. All 2 of them. Anyways, you bought a house this year. Lots of people buying a house. It's actually a seller's market, right? There's not a lot of new houses being built, but there's a lot of houses that people have bought and sold and lots of renovation. In fact, if you think about it, you buy a house, you need it inspected. And you're relying on a home inspector to find defects and find any major problems, so you don't spend 4, 5, 6, 7, 800,000, million, 1.2, 2.5, whatever the number is. You don't spend all this money on a house, and you got yourself a lemon, because there's no lemon law for houses. There's just lawyers. So joining me on the Hire It Done radio show is a longtime friend and a benchmark home inspector, one of the best in the business, Dan Welch from Dan Way Home Inspections. Good morning, Dan.
Hey, good morning, Adam.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to be back.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
My producer's sitting out there.
I'm waiting. I've been waiting by the phone for the last year. But we've had a great journey. You had so many radio programs. You were doing TV, and then all the projects you're doing downtown. So we've always interconnected, and we
always do business. Yeah, but on the radio show, I'm talking.
Yeah.
So reintroduce yourself to the Hire It Done audience. Tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Oh, I'm Dan Welch. I have a company called Dan Way Home Inspections. I used to be Dearborn Modernization way back. So I've been around the building trades all my life. My dad built 18 plants for Ford Motor Car Company. I went to school in Europe, and I was groomed to build plants for Fords. But I took another turn. I started getting into historical renovations, Greenfield Village, and then I just love the trades. I love building. I love using my hands.
Renovation, man, it's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting process. It's a creative process. It's a financial benefit when you do well to your home. It's the womb. It's the sacred space where you raise your family, your children. It's very important.
So how long have you been a home inspector?
Probably going on about 20 years.
Wow.
I got into it when it first was not an industry. A friend of mine, Chris Campo from the Campo Builders.
Yeah, I know them. Good guy. I know the whole family, actually.
Yeah, I was very involved with them. But Chris came back up he was building in Atlanta. Then he came back up and we were talking. He says there's a home industry inspection process that's going to come up here to the Michigan area. And so we got in it at the very root level, and we got trained, and we understood what we needed to give to the people. So, yeah, I was on the ground floor when it first happened.
It's interesting. I got a question for you. How come, and explain this to me, the home inspection business, you got to be licensed builder, okay? You got to be licensed in the state of Michigan to be a builder.
Right.
Why in the home inspection business, the state doesn't make you be licensed? Explain that to me.
Well, I was a member of ASHI, the American Society of Home Inspectors, so this was debated a long time ago. And certain states do have licensing for home inspectors. Here in Michigan, we don't have that. There's pros and cons to it. Just because you can take an aptitude test, or you can take a course and in 3 days learn what's on the test, take the test, get your license, and then people think you have this high-end credential. That means you just kind of paid to get to this home inspection license. So that's it. It's a non-regulated industry. It just happens to be that way in Michigan.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. But I just don't understand that. Does it make it any better or worse?
Well, that's the pros and cons. They say that, it's like, when I was a licensed builder, it's a really expensive test, and you really had to know what you were talking about. Now they got courses where they guarantee that in 2 days, by taking this course, you can go down to Lansing and get a builder's license.
2 days? Just 2 days to become a licensed?
Yeah. I mean, just
8 hours a day?
Yeah. What they're doing is they're just telling you what's on the test, and so you're memorizing.
Where's that? I want to do that.
That's the deal.
Okay, so the barriers to entry are what's difficult. Obviously, we all see that, but nothing beats experience, right?
Right. Exactly.
That's the bottom line. I mean, I walk into a house, people are amazed, and I'm not trying to. They looking at me like, "How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know this?" And it just comes from experience.
Yeah, you were raised with it. Your grandfather had Fairway Construction. They're doing the first edition. So as a snot-nosed little kid, you were growing around. You were with them.
Listen,
you were with your family.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I was a snot-nosed kid for sure.
Yeah, we all were.
The problem with me, and this isn't about me, but I'm just going to say it. From the neck down, I'm worth minimum wage. Okay. Yeah. Literally, my dad put me on the site when they were building dormers. My grandfather invented the dormer.
Yeah. Fairway Construction.
Yeah.
So
he was
my
the
dad, leader.
When I was in beginning of high school, over the summer, my dad put me on the construction crew with the Preventures.
Right.
That was their name. They were the best. And I didn't last 3-4 hours. They call my dad up and say, get him out of here. This guy's counting 2x4s. He's asking questions. He's interrupting us. Stop. They tell me to move a load of 2x4s over here to over there. I'm like,
Right.
why? What's wrong with you guys picking them up? And then they were like cutting like 16-footers and 8-footers, and they were like chopping up. I go, there's 8-footers over there. Why are you cutting it in half? And they're looking at me like, shut up, kid. So at
Right.
noon, my dad came and got me. He's like, listen, it's clear that you're not the working type. You're not the carpenter type. You're not that type. My dad opened his trunk, pulled out a box of brochures, said to me, go up to the end of the street, grab these brochures, knock on every door.
Right.
I'm like, what do you mean knock on the door? He goes, if they answer, smile, introduce yourself, and tell them your family's in the neighborhood doing renovation. If they want a free quote, give them the brochure. If they're not answering the door, just stick the brochure in the door. He goes, for every appointment you make, or every
lead
lead,
or whatever.
right,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you $20. I'm like,
Oh,
deal.
Yeah.
I'm making 10 appointments a day.
Yeah.
You know, my dad's like, what are you telling these people? And then one of the sales guys from my dad's business calls my dad and goes, we're not giving 30% off. We're not offering half off. What's this? Who's this person telling people that, you know, you get free appliances if you get a kitchen? I'm like, Dad, what do you expect? You know, I was looking at TV at the time. Looking, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You,
$99 window, all that fake fuzzy math.
you were learning it on the ground level. You know, nobody was telling you how to do it, so you were just kind of innovating.
Well, my dad figured it out that I'm more of a mouthpiece as opposed to. So he made me go to school. I went to college, degree, blah, 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 right?
Right.
I didn't learn anything there. I
Yeah.
honestly
I know.
partied my butt off at college.
Yeah.
He begged me to go to law school. Big mistake. He never did. But I learned it all in the field. I learned it after I got out of college, went to work for him, and he put me as a project manager. He put me in the field, but not doing the labor because I was no good at it. And then he put me into marketing and then the accounting and the business side of
Right.
it. And that's where I actually got my experience. But
Yeah.
evolving like you have, you and I have been on home inspections. We've seen hundreds of houses.
Thousands. You know, I mean, I've over the years, there's just tremendous amount. At one point, I was using it to supplement my income. You know, I was still
Sure.
doing my renovations.
But you still do a little bit of renovations, don't you? Once in a while, homeowners can call you and say, hey, you help them.
Yeah. I love working with my hands. I mean, I have a real love for that, and I have a appreciation for building materials, homes, and people. And if I can do something creative or something that's very beneficial, yeah, I will help those people.
Which is important.
Which
So
is important.
right now, the home inspection market has infiltrated the real estate. So nobody buys a home without a home inspection.
Yeah,
It doesn't happen.
right. Yeah, well, the real estate agents realize that they can buffer their liability.
There you go. Perfect. And shout out to Josh's dad, Rodney Norris. I hear he's a legend in the gutter business. Is that true, Christiaan?
He is. He is. Many years ago, he hired me for my first gutter job, and he was kind enough to share Josh's number with me a little while ago when I needed some more help.
Love that. Keep it in the family, right?
He's like the godfather of gutters and
Taught me
The
everything I know.
GG, the godfather of gutters. Are you going to take that reign soon?
Someday, hopefully. Yeah.
Hoping it's me.
Well, so shout out to Rodney Norris. Josh, so that's a good thing. All right, so let's get right into it. You guys do gutters. I want to talk about gutter protection. You know, it seems to be the trend that, you know, today you're getting gutters. You might as well get gutter protection. Christiaan, is it an automatic that you should, when you price gutters for a homeowner, you always price gutter protection with it?
Not always. If they have no trees
No
anywhere
reason.
near the house, then I probably
Like if their
won't
house
give
is
them a
their
price.
farmhouse,
Yeah.
and it's the middle of a field, there's
Correct.
nothing there. You don't need gutter protection?
If they ask for it, I will give them a price, but
But you'll also say to them, hey, listen, as a professional, you don't need it.
right.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure because there are people who don't need a roof. My roofers go out there and they're like, Adam, we just went on a roof. It's like 5 years old. There's nothing wrong with it. Homeowner thinks they need a new roof. I'm like, what'd you do? We told them, no, you don't need a new roof. We told them to call us in 5 more years.
Yeah.
But, you know, people ask. We did have someone who demanded, they wanted a new roof. It was like 3 years old. They just wanted to change the color.
Whoa.
I'm like, wow, you must be rich.
Right.
Okay, go from brown to blue, black, whatever. No problem. High
Every 3
five,
years.
right? Yeah, every couple of years, whatever it takes. So, when someone does need gutter protection, okay, is there certain? Do you offer more than one brand, or is it not even a brand? It's the Christiaan Gutter Selection, or is there just one gutter protection you give?
We have two main favorite products that have different kinds of openings to keep out different kinds of trees, depending what we see at your house.
So when you go to my friend Lauren's house, you're going to show her two types.
Well, maybe.
Okay.
I might not show her the one that will let in pine needles if she has pine trees. You know, I want to give her something that works for her.
Okay, so pine trees have the pine needles, and some gutter protections that have that curled piece, the pine needles can go down and underneath. You need the screen for the pine needles. Is that correct? Or the mesh? What is it?
Yeah, like a finer mesh to keep the pine needles out.
I got you. Finer mesh. I like that. Now, how do you charge for gutter protection? Is it per foot, per job? Is it a flat price? What is the right way for a homeowner who says, all right, Adam, I'm getting a few prices. What is the right rule of thumb here?
I use linear feet as a guideline, but I'm taking the height into account. You know, how cut up is it? How difficult is the terrain around the house? Is there nowhere to park at the house? You know, all these factors help tell you how hard or easy it is.
Okay. So there's gutter protection go on just like the gutters. Like you have a gutter machine where you roll it out. Like you have like a roll of aluminum, and then all of a sudden you stick it in the machine, and on the other side it's like cookies. It comes out looking like a 6-inch gutter. Does that with gutter protection too, or are they just come in like 8 foot, 4 foot, whatever size sections?
The two main ones that we like to use come, I believe, 4 or 5 feet, and then 10 feet.
Okay. So you have all kinds of, you just maximize it for.
Yeah.
Less seams the better, or no? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter for the gutter covers.
Okay.
If it was longer than 10 feet, it'd get pretty tough to work with.
Makes sense. Okay. Compare your stuff to the stuff you get at a big box store or a hardware store, those plastic insert snap-in pieces. I always see them on the ground.
I was going to say, well, ours work.
Okay, so there you go. With confidence. You said that really quick.
Oh, absolutely.
Josh Norris, installer. How long have you been installing, Josh? 15 years, you said?
I've been doing it for 15 years, but I guess only like 10, actually. Like when I was 15, I was going up and helping my dad,
Okay,
doing
so
jobs and stuff.
I grew up in the business too.
Yeah.
So as a little kid, my dad was taking me down to the job sites, dormers, additions, and things like that. So, all right. So the stuff you buy at a big box store, those 4-foot pieces, you're not a fan of.
Not a fan at all.
How about the wedge that goes in there that looks like a sponge?
I've installed that quite a bit. I do more taking it out, though, now.
Are they no good?
I think they just cause problems. A lot of clogs.
Have you ever
There's
looked at?
nothing-
You ever seen like pipe cleaner, like the So I got as a sample once this stuff that looks like giant pipe cleaner, and it goes in your gutters. Let me tell you something. Oh boy, what a mistake!
Yeah, I can imagine.
All it does is it traps everything in it. Good luck, and you pull it out, and then everything as you pull it out, dumps everything out. So.
Yeah,
Anyways, do you guys service the Monroe area?
we do.
Okay, yes. So Brandon Cosby was requesting that. Brandon, all you got to do is call Christian's Gutters, 586-698-2337, or visit hireitdone.com, say Gutters. Christians will be coming out to you, which is always a good thing.
We're actually, call us soon because we're in Monroe Tuesday, so we'd really like to come see him on Tuesday, truthfully.
We're
like
sending
that.
Josh there Tuesday.
All right, well, listen, gentlemen, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you imagine it just goes so fast?
Can we get another 15?
I'd love to have it. We got a full show lined up, though. Anyways, I want to thank you both for coming on. Christian's Gutters, rock stars of gutters. Josh Norris, installer, related to the Chuck Norris.
Oh, yes.
If you want gutters done right, that's where you go. Thanks for coming on, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. If you have any questions, you can always email me, adam@hireitdone.com. Anyways, we've got Gary Shelley and Andrew Perlin from Running Right Heating, Cooling in Studio. And the question is, what are the top items that break on a furnace when a homeowner calls you? And, of course, a furnace always breaks on the weekend when it's the coldest day of the year. Murphy's Law is always overlooking at that. So, Gary, tell me, what are your thoughts?
Well, most of the furnaces today have two motors on them, and the motors can fail. It can be something as simple as an igniter that may go bad, which isn't a major issue. Sometimes even just cleaning what we'd call a sensor in there. There's most of the issues that you have with the furnace can be related to the safety portion of it, because it's always checking things that are going on in the furnace to make sure it's safe. If not, it'll shut it off. If the control board doesn't like what it's seeing inside the furnace temperature, or the flame didn't light, it'll just shut the unit down, and that's when you need service, obviously.
Clearly. So that's important. And is those expensive things to fix?
Well, a lot of those can be corrected ahead of time. That's why a good maintenance check on the thing to kind of see how things are going, clean the sensor, take a look at the igniter, see how old it is, listen to the motors, see if they sound like, because a lot of times they'll give you some warning that they're going to go bad. They'll start making noise and let you know a little bit ahead of time, and you may not even hear it upstairs, but it may not sound right to our technician, and they might recommend doing it before it breaks on that weekend when it's a lot tougher to get somebody out.
So someone can call you for a furnace tune-up, and in the tune-up, they can check all that stuff.
We can look at those things, and in a lot of cases, you can see things that may be going wrong, and that's a lot of what's happening. Two things on a checkup is safety, to make sure it's safe, and the other thing is to see if we can see anything that may be coming up in the future that might fail on you, and get it done before it happens.
Well, that's the best way, preventative.
Yes.
Well, everyone wants that. That's interesting. It's interesting. So at what point does a homeowner who has a furnace, let's say it's been doing fine for 15 years, let's say it's from the 90s or the late 2000s, what do they do? When do you decide it's a new furnace as opposed to repairing it? Is there a rule of thumb? Is there a formula? Because I have my own idea, but I'm just wondering, what do you guys tell a homeowner?
Typically, I mean, if the cost of the repairs are, a third to a half of what it is to purchase a new one, I think you move forward with the new one with rebates and things that are out there to upgrade. You'll get some of your money back just in the savings of the energy bills. But we try and take into account people's budgets and work with them accordingly.
Well, it makes perfect sense, and that's what I thought. Gary, what is your advice?
Well, we look at the same thing. If you start getting into putting in an exorbitant amount of money into an older furnace, is the payback going to be there for you? Because even though you may replace one or two parts in there, you've still got all the other parts that are probably older and can have issues. And then if you did have an older unit with a heat exchanger that could fail on you, then that would be something that would push it over the limit of repair. But as Andrew was saying, the
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. It was a good interview. Christiaan Deasy from Christiaan's Gutters. If you want it done right, you just go to Hire It Done. We find great contractors. That's really, it's a medium-sized family-owned business. Honest. He shows up. That's what we do here. Isn't that what you want as a homeowner? An honest contractor? One that's solution-minded? One that's not the most expensive? I mean, when you talk about it, Christiaan's Gutters, never the most expensive, never the cheapest. They're right in the middle. Who wants anything but that? Plus, they do the job. You're happy when you're done. They clean up. They do it right. So, anyways. So, what else? Let's talk about trends for 2020, right? It's Glenn Hagee, may he rest in peace. He always said the most important tool in your toolbox is your checkbook. And you know what? He was right. Far be it for me to argue with the godfather of home improvement. He do his stuff. But the times have changed. And today there's a new tool in your toolbox that I'm going to take credit for. And I've been saying this. And that tool, it's more important than your checkbook. That tool is time. 4-letter word, time. Because today, time is the new currency. Think about that, friends. Who has time to do it themselves? Who has time to build a deck? Who has time to renovate your basement? Do you have time to paint your house? People today are more busier, more preoccupied than we've ever been. And every year around this time, I hear from homeowners who say they didn't get the projects done around the house like they wanted last year, that they wanted to get done now. Now there's a little bit of a rush to get it done. Sometimes it comes down to other expenses taking a priority. We're not all got the money tree, but just as often it comes down to homeowners simply running out of time. That's because in the way that you budget for the cost of a project, you also have to budget your time to complete a project. It costs money. Time is money, my friends. It's important that we all on the same page as me. And I just want to share that information with you because you need to know what about that. So let's separate this. Let's talk about step one. Separate your projects into 2 categories, okay? Large projects, small projects, and odd jobs. So the large projects is one category, and then the small projects, odd jobs, is the other. Large projects are like redoing your bathroom, your kitchen, or finishing a basement, or maybe a new roof. That's still a large project, right? But typically they're multi-trade, meaning they require more than one contractor to complete, and require an investment of a significant amount of time and money. Now, a large project that doesn't give you a lot of time, but it is, not cheap, is your roof. A roof is a large project. The average roof today costs $10,000. I know people say to me, you talk about roofs a lot, but let me say this. Roofing is an expensive job. The average job today for a roof is $10,000. You don't want to spend that $10,000 without calling the right contractor. And I had a conversation with Greg Tittle Brothers Construction. Forget about the others, right? Greg Tittle. He's one of our contractors from Hire It Done. We've got a lot of great contractors, but Greg and I were talking the other day. We were talking about 2020 trends. And he said to me, Adam, people are pushing off roofing, and it's starting to build up demand. So now there's a demand for roofing again. And I said, well, what kind of roof are people asking for? He goes, everybody wants the 50-year roof. I'm like, what is the 50-year roof? He goes, it's the last roof you'll ever buy. So I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of cool. And we've always talked about 50-year roofs on Hire It Done. And that doesn't mean that it's the roof that is 50 years because it has a better shingle or whatever. Remember, the best roof is the one that's installed properly. But Greg Tittle, he's like, listen, we price every job today as a 50-year roof. Okay, I'll give you that. And you know what? It's affordable. And why is it affordable? Because companies like Greg Tittle from Tittle Brothers, they offer financing. So if you can't afford to write that check, you can write a monthly check. That's where it makes a difference. Our contractors finance for you. So one of those things about time being the new currency is you find a contractor who will work with you. Now, there's also small projects like furnace replacement, chimney repair, exterior painting. Understanding that these types of projects can still be quite costly, especially if you have to take care of more than one. We have Air Temp Mechanical, one of my contractors who does furnace heating and cooling. They've been taking care of hired done contractors all fall. They still do the $99 furnace tune-up. You need to get those done. But who has time to get it done? That's what my point, my friends. It's making time. What about odd jobs? Odd jobs are the type of project that many homeowners might want to take care of themselves or opt to use a handyman service for projects like replacing old caulk, resealing a deck, fixing a leaky faucet. This type of project is also frequently referred to as the honey-do list. The cost is typically less of a concern with odd jobs, especially if you plan to do them yourself. But who has time to do it yourself? That's my point. If you're going to do small odd jobs, go around your house today. Walk around your house, okay? Write a list of things you'd like to fix. Fix that doorknob that went through the drywall, recaulk the tub, fix a leaky faucet, and put on a new shower head. You got a whole list. Now, all of a sudden, you bundled it up. You call a handyman, and you get him there for half a day or a whole day. Boom. It's so much easier to do that way. Now, once you've sorted your projects into the categories, you can start to budget the time and money you'll need to complete them. And that's the other thing. If you go to hireitdone.com and you click on Ask Adam, you don't know what a bathroom costs, email me. I'll help you. I have a pricing database. It's pretty good, and it helps you as a homeowner figure out where you're going to be ballpark-wise. Like if your water heater's old, 10, 12, 15 years old, set aside a little bit from your tax return to cover your new water heater. Shelby Mechanical has water heaters. They have water heaters. They do a decent job. Actually, they do a great job. But they also can tell you what the benefit of a tankless water heater is. Is that one to do? Now, if you already have your to-do list and you're ready to go, you want to start thinking about the home show. There's a home show coming up, the Novi Home Show. We got tickets to give away. I think we have tickets to give away today. Do we have tickets to give away? Yeah, we do. Oh, there you go. I love that. We got tickets to give away for the Novi Home Show, so keep it locked in here. And I'm going to give you ways to get ready for the home show. Because if you already have your list, then you'll know. Meet contractors at the home show will help you out. So if you want to finish your projects in 2020, the time to plan is now, today. Do what I say. Take my advice. And that's how I'm going to help you, because I want you to understand that that's what Hired Done is. We're a resource. We use the radio. We use social networking. We use all of our assets to get information out to you so that you get advice that makes sense, advice that you like. And hopefully the advice you'll find valuable. I think it's valuable. I want you to have some fun with this. So we've got Michael Stoskopf from the Home Builders Association. He's the CEO. He's going to be coming up next, and he is going to be telling us about the home show. We've got tickets to give away, so keep it locked in. I'm going to be giving away tickets, and we're going to talk about the home show, how to plan for it, what to do there, how to do it right, and how to win, because that's what we do. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Do you trust the plan? I do. We've got Gary Bolson from Men on the Move in studio. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Adam.
How are you?
I am wonderful, thanks.
Glad to have you here. How was
Last
your holiday?
Saturday of the decade.
Can you of the decade, not of the year, but of the decade. Whoa, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. Blow it up.
So, did you have a good Christmas?
I did, thanks.
I love
We have part 2 Christmas today.
Really?
We do.
Ooh, part 2. Give me part 2. What's that?
We have, my stepdaughter and her boyfriend, and my daughter and her boyfriend, and my father-in-law and his girlfriend, and
So you got a little bit of an expanded Christmas. I'm kind of jealous, to be honest.
get good food again.
Well, here's the thing. I'm Jewish. So for me, it's like Hanukkah. And as a kid, I used to be all upset with my parents. I'm like, we got, Santa Claus. What's up with that? My mom looked at me and she goes, let me tell you something, son. It's Christmas every day for you. As much as I liked hearing that, it wasn't good enough.
Right.
So I just said, you know what? I'm going to celebrate Christmas. So I get gifts and I like all that. And you know what? I had a good time.
There's
And
nothing wrong with being diverse.
I try. Listen, I'm the Jew who eats bacon anyway. So It's all good.
Nothing wrong with that
I'm
either.
an equal opportunity person.
I hear you.
So, Gary, Men on the Move is the hired done pre-screen mover. You do fantastic work, by the way. The raving reviews from all our clients. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
Is 2020 going to be a big year for you?
You know what? I'm looking that it is. I bought my partner out in March of 2019, and I've got new things on the horizon, making some changes to better the company and expand the company. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I like that. Thank you very much. So people, typically moving is like a spring, summer thing, right? In the fall. This time of year, people aren't moving over Christmas, New Year's, are they?
Yeah, we actually we're up about probably 15% from where we were last December. I mean, things have been going pretty good. The economy's pretty good. People are moving. We've got, my guys we got 4 trucks out today, and New Year's Eve we got 4 trucks out on New Year's Eve day. So it's we're still hopping.
That's interesting. And I guess that makes sense. You can move any time of the year, I guess.
Correct.
It don't matter.
Yeah, the only time in the last 28 years, the only time we haven't moved somebody is actually on Christmas Day. Every other holiday, Thanksgiving, we've moved people in the past.
And so you don't have a problem doing that as long as it's planned properly?
Yeah, I mean, as long as my guys, I have a couple of guys that are willing to work. I mean, I put it in their court. I mean,
You guys want to work,
right?
You get paid a little extra,
Right, and then we'll do the job for them. If my guys, don't want to work, they want to spend the time with their families or whatever. I mean, that comes first.
Gotcha. Makes sense to me. We're talking with Gary Bolson. The company's called Men on the Move. His website is MichiganMovers.com. Someone wants to move in the springtime. Is now the time to plan it? They should call you now and you have like a planning kit and help and tips and all that?
I mean, they should make an initial phone call at least, ask a couple questions that might be on their mind, ask how the process works. Our website does a pretty good job of explaining that as well. If you don't want to talk to somebody on the phone, go to the website. We even have an online quote form on the website that they can fill out a quote at 3 a.m. if they want, and within 24 hours they'll get a price back on their move.
Oh, that's even better. So the website's is www.michiganmovers.com. So Gary, let's give some tips to the homeowners right now who are, there's all kinds of moves. There's moving to a new house. There's moving out, downsizing. There's moving out, renovation, meaning the big renovation job. Let's talk about that one because since I know a lot of contractors, and I talked about the contractors and they said, yeah, we need a name of a good moving guy. So it's going to be good for you because the bigger projects are on the horizon this year.
Right.
Where I tell a homeowner, if the project is a major remodel, it's better to move out because the job goes smoother, faster. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done radio network. Joining me on the Hire It Done radio show is Michael Stoskopf. He's the CEO of the Home Builders Association. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. How you doing?
Welcome back, my friend.
Thanks for having us on.
Always, always. So let's talk about the Home Builders Association. If you're a contractor, a builder, one of the things that homeowners always look for is if you're a member of associations or looking to always add to your professionalism. And the Home Builders Association is pretty much the place for a builder or a contractor to be a member of if they're looking to always educate themselves and be part of the industry. Is that correct?
Well, I'm a partial source, of course. So with that disclosure, yes, absolutely. The Home Builders Association, there's 700 local home builders associations across the country. Over 20 in Michigan. We're the largest in Michigan. We're part of the National Association of Home Builders Federation. And really it's new home builders, it's remodelers, trade subcontractors, and then all the different companies that want to work within the residential construction and remodeling industry. We're focused on professionalism. That is very important. It's the largest investment most everybody that's in the sound of our voices right now, but most everybody in the country, the largest investment they'll ever make. And so you want to make sure you protect that investment. So as you mention all the time with your stable of contractors on Hire It Done, you want to hire professionals. You want to know that you're getting the best quality service for that biggest investment that protects your family.
And that's well said, actually. I really appreciate that. So the website for the Home Builders Association is hbaofmichigan.com. that correct?
Well, that's the state association. For our local association here at HBA of Southeastern Michigan, which covers Oakland, Wayne, Macomb, and St. Clair counties, it's real simple. It's builders.org.
Oh, even better.
Even better.
Builders.org. Okay. Listen, I always have, I'm a
You're
stickler
always
for
learning on this show.
Hey, whatever. You know how that goes.
That's right.
So, Michael, let's talk about the state of the construction industry really quick.
Sure.
We've had a really good economy the last couple of years.
We have.
Homeowners have been coming to hire it done in droves looking for contractors. And even I can't fulfill all the requests and the needs because my contractors are like, hey, Adam, we are backed up. We are booked. We can't take any more business. So we sometimes say to the homeowners, hey, listen, we're sorry we only have one guy we can send you instead of 4 or 3. And it's been frustrating because all the good guys are busy, plus add on the shortage of labor. And next thing you know, you got a little bit of a quandary. Are those mirrored with your what you think?
Oh, completely, absolutely, without equivocation. It's a real tight market. That's the whole point of the home show. A lot of the exhibitors at the home show, this is how they do their marketing and business development. This is how they find leads. And really, we're seeing folks come out to a home show, and you want to get, well, maybe not as much with Christiaan and his gutters, but you want to get a new roof put on, or you want to do that new addition or bathroom remodel, kitchen remodel. They're booking for May, June, July in January. So,
I'll give you a perfect example
cycle.
of this. I'm glad you said that. One of my contractors, Finished Basements Plus.
Yeah.
HBA member. Steve Iverson.
Award-winning HBA member, by the way.
Yeah, Contractor of the Year. Yeah. He's a rock star. He's got his booth, and then we've got next to him this year, Shelby Mechanical, one of my plumbers. And he's going to be talking about tankless water heaters, basement plumbing, putting a bathroom anywhere in your basement. Even if you have plumbing coming out of the ground, pre-plumbed, it's so easy to change and mix up. People don't realize that it's not a deal breaker. So they teamed up. And of course, I love that because it's, they're hired done contractors. But the goal is it's one place for everybody in Metro Detroit to go to, find good contractors, and start to get your process. Because again, 2020 trend is home improvement: bathrooms, kitchens, basements, roofing, siding, windows, handyman, heating, cooling, plumbing. All of those are on the top list of what homeowners want to get done in 2020. Why not start at the home show?
Well, exactly. That's exactly right. And we have over 300 exhibitors. So imagine if you wanted to go see those exhibitors and you were going to drive around to each of their showrooms, spend time at each of those. 3 hours per each one, that's 1,000 hours. You don't have that kind of time. But if you spend 3 or 4 hours at the home show, January 24th through 26th, Friday through Sunday, you can walk past all of their booths, and the ones that attract you or the ones that you're specifically looking for, they're all in one place. I mean, how convenient is that?
Well, that's the best part about it. So Friday the 24th, Saturday the 25th, Sunday the 26th. On Friday, the show opens at
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock to 8 p.m.
2 to 8. And then Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday. So that's the long day. And then Sunday is 10 to 5.
Okay, perfect. Yep. And approximately, how many people actually come through the home show?
In the 3 days in the January show, in real good years, we're looking at 25 to 35,000 people.
Yeah, so it's that busy.
It's that busy.
I suggest, again, planning a home show, get there early. The earlier, the better, because then it's less crowded. It gives you a little bit more time to talk to, or come late in the day.
Well, and we have a great deal on Friday and Saturday. We have $5 tickets after 5 p.m. So our tickets normally for adults are $10, seniors are $9. Of course, you can get coupons and stuff. 12 and under are always free. But the 5 after 5 deal is a great promotion. Yeah. So
how about free?
Well, guess what? If you're listening to our voices right now, Hire It Done, we have some tickets complimentary for you. So
I love that. All right. So we got to take 10 callers? Do we have? You have how many? Yeah, 12. Okay, so we have 12 4-packs. Perfect. 248-539-9797. I remembered it. So give us a call. We're going to take the first 12 callers. 248-539-9797. We're going to give away 12 4-packs.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for that, by the way.
Well, like you said on the first segment or first hour of the show, free's always, free's good, right?
Right. Glenn Hagee's favorite price.
Glenn's favorite.
He's a legend. I'm sad that he's gone, but definitely he knew what he was talking about. We used to chat a lot, him and I. So if you want to win some Novi Home Show tickets, call 248-539-9797. We have 12 4-packs to give away. The phone lines are blinking, which is a good thing. I always like when the phone lines light up when we're giving some away. You know why?
We always wonder if somebody's listening, right?
I always do that. I had a contractor once. Here, I'm going to give you a quick side story.
Sure.
I had a contractor once say to me, Adam, nobody listens to your show. Nobody listens to radio. There's no way I'm advertising with you. I'm like, I'll tell you what, how about if I give free advertising and you let me write the message? And that way you have no downside. You don't pay for it, but if people show up to your showroom, you got to honor any deal I give them. And he looked at me, he goes, I love that deal. Then he said, wait a minute, what do you mean? I said, okay, well, my ad is going to be this. XYZ Furniture Company, Saturday only, show up with a truck and we'll fill your truck up with furniture off the showroom floor for free. Tell them you heard it on this show. I said, if no one's listening, ain't nobody showing up.
You ain't got no risk. That's right.
If they're showing up, you're filling it with furniture. How about them apples? He looked at me, and he got really mad. I said, so don't insult me, Mr. Furniture, that no one's listening, because more people listen than you think.
Right.
And people listen to hear what I'm going to say, because there's a lot of people that don't like me. They're like a lot of contractors. But you know what? Listen, I'm here to help the homeowner find good contractors. I'm here to help the homeowner give good advice. I'm here to help them know that the home show is the right place to start in 2020 to finding good contractors.
Yep.
And that's what I want to do. We just want to give good information and have them. So why not with the HBA? But there's more than just contractors at the HBA. You've got, let's talk about who's going to be there.
Right. So we've of course got exhibitors that go everywhere from new home builders, custom home builders actually exhibit in this show, to remodelers who can handle the most comprehensive remodeling project you might have in mind, to actually a trade subcontractor, so plumbers, roofers, gutter guys, etc. And then, of course, we have hot tubs and boats and a few other things like that as well. So everything you could possibly need for the house, from the front yard to the back and roof to the basement, right? But
everything within the four corners of your lot is what I say.
Well, there you go. I like that one too. So, but then we also, one of the features, because we try to put in different features to attract folks out, because just walking up and down aisles, it's like going to a grocery store. I mean, it's a very
fruit on the
purposeful,
outside.
Right. But yeah, you've got, impulse buys, things like that as well. So this year we've invested some money. We're bringing in Lori Smith from TLC's Trading Spaces. She's an interior designer. She lives in Nashville. So we have a stage that we've set up called the Inspiration Stage. So she's going to be appearing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you can come out and meet her. TV personality, very popular. We've also partnered up with the American Society of Interior Designers and
ASID. I love it.
ASID.
All right, well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to keep you around. Let's talk about tips for homeowners, when they should come, when they shouldn't, who else is going to be there, and some of my favorite things at the show.
All right, sounds great.
I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. I've got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. We're talking about how to save energy in your home. Tom, give your cell phone out on the air right now.
My cell phone, 586-298-4422.
298-4422. Area code 586. Got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. Tom, you got fiberglass insulation, you got cellulose, you got spray foam. Is there a choice? Which was the one that you, in your own home, what's the one you want to use more than anything else?
Well, I'll tell you exactly. I have cellulose in my walls, cellulose in my attic, and I have foam in all the bond plates. I live in a home that's on a crawl, so I have the crawl walls are all done with foam insulation, the closed cell foam. So I have.
So you got a good combo.
Oh, I've got my home is insulated as well as you're ever going to insulate it.
So does the foam insulation have off-gassing? People are like VOCs, volatile organic compounds. Is there a problem, a risk?
No,
Okay.
there is not.
That's not
I've
good.
never, ever experienced someone who needed to leave the home as a result of foam being installed.
Now, let me ask you this. The homeowner calls you up and says, I heard you on Hire It Done. I want you to insulate everything, my whole house. I want it done. Do the whole house. You do the whole house. Do you recommend, now that you've tightened the house up and it's really good, do you recommend they call a heating and cooling company and make sure the furnace has got good makeup air and it's got good combustion air? Because now that the house is tight.
And a humidifier.
Oh, okay.
You've got to have a humidifier.
Because that'll dry everything
And you're going to need a dehumidifier at
so
the summer months.
Okay, because that's really what makes the house like a really working machine.
That's right.
Okay, I'm okay with that. And I wanted to, that's why I was asking, because some homeowners don't need to know there's other connected things in a house that do that.
Yeah, the insulation has a wide range effect on the overall functionality of the home, and you need to be educated. And let's face it, we're here today. You're on the show every Saturday morning for the simple reason you want educated homeowners. You want people to get the opportunity to learn more every day about their home.
I appreciate you telling me that. And yes, that's what we're here for. We're here to educate homeowners, because if you're educated on the project, on the product, on the topic, you're going to make a better decision. You're going to find a contractor that's not going to rip you off, not overcharge you. At the end of the day, with Hire It Done's mantra, we want to give you hassle-free home improvement.
That's right.
That's it. Let's to keep it simple.
Qualified, capable contractors who come in and do it right 99.9% of the time the first time.
And to add to that, thank you for that, by the way. And to add to it, this is what makes Hire It Done different. One of the qualities that we profile our contractors is we look for contractors that are solution-minded, meaning all contractors that are smart know there's mistakes in the job. Sometimes they make a mistake, sometimes they do this. But the contractor that really excels is the one that solves the problem when they create one. But God forbid, he stepped on a recessed light, this and that. It happens.
Doggone right it happens.
So at that point, the contractor says, hey, here's what we did. Now here's the solution. Instead of blaming, sorry, that's just part of the job. You'll have to fix it yourself. What? Yeah. What? Yeah. Not happening. So how many times do you get homeowners call you and say, I got frozen pipes all the time. I need insulation around the pipe?
Well, it's really in the past 5 years been incredible, a lot. Some of the homes that are still being built with pipes, plumbing pipes on
going up the
exterior
outside walls, overhangs.
They
don't think about it.
Yeah.
I've got a plumber, Shelby Mechanical. I think you know Ron Alexander.
I know him very well. He's great.
Yeah, the guy's a rock star.
Ron's
the company,
great.
his whole staff, right? Yep. And the solution. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. I called him up and I said, "Listen, I got hot water." We've got Michael Stoskopf, CEO. Dominic is he goes Michigan Home Builders Association. Clouseau. He's Builders.org.
Builders.org, HBA of Southeastern
he's
Michigan.
Getting into like tankless water heaters. I'm so excited. I appreciate that. We
like
got the home show. It's January 24th, 25th, and 26th. Which is insulation around pipes. Starts the home improvement season. He's always getting called out.
Right, it's a nice way to break up January too. I mean, we've had a little bit, knock on wood, a little bit milder so far, but it's great to get out of the house.
5 years.
Is there any playoffs that weekend?
Mind-boggling.
We always look at the calendar.
No, actually, I think that's the week in between. So next week will be the championship. And there's a week in between the Super Bowl. We always try to get that week in between, so there's no excuses. Everybody should come out. Husbands, wives, kids, bring them all.
Which is always
he's over in Birmingham.
Which is good. So if you're thinking of remodeling in 2020, if you're thinking of fixing your house up, anything from A to Z, everything within the four corners of your lot, whether it's landscaping, irrigation, roofing, siding, windows, kitchens, bath, concrete, handyman, it goes through the whole list. Basement remodeling, you got it. You want a gutter protection, you want a generator, everything is serviced there.
Everything is available, and I was on the break. I was looking through our list of exhibitors, and it does literally cover everything. I mean, even down to countertops and hot tubs and bath liners. It just anything you could possibly want within the four corners of your lot, like you said.
Yeah, which is always a good thing. So, Michael, let's give some tips to homeowners who are thinking of going to the home show. and I want to recap this because I thought that's really good advice that you gave about, time of day. Obviously time, what I say is, Glenn Higgy used to say your checkbook's the most important tool in your toolbox. Today, my thing is it's time.
It's time.
And time's the new currency. So
you can't get it back.
Exactly. Well, there for sure. So spend it wisely, plan it properly, go to the home show early or go late. Half off tickets at late. I love that. After 5.
After 5. I mean, you can go to our website, novihomeshow.com, and get a $2 off coupon as well. So you can make that savings there. Being there at 10 a.m., or 2 p.m. when it opens on Friday, that does provide you the best time to do that because the exhibitors are at their highest energy. They're ready and raring to go. They love to see people come in. So, if you've got a home project, make sure you collect measurements and specs, take photos of the project area you're thinking about. Let's say it's a bathroom remodel. You got your master bath, so take those measurements. And then when you walk in the front door at the show, we've got a show program guide. So then you can open that up and sort right through and figure out, okay, these are the bathroom contractors I want to go visit first. That's your priority. Go and talk to, like you said, you always like to get 3 bids. Talk to 3 or 4 of those contractors. If there's 5 or 6, you've got time to do that. It's not the point that they're going to bid the job for you, of course, but it is a time for you to look them in the eye, to shake their hand, to
it's
get a good feeling, right? It's a gut call.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Feel like you want to invite them in your home. This is a neutral ground. Go to their booth and, let's use a roofing company as an example. You want to get a roof. Now, there's a lot of roofers there. It seems to be like the predominant, because everyone needs a roof.
Right.
I have the most roofers and hire it done. So we know that's a good start. If you want a roof, whether it's a hire it done guy or not, the key is going to their booth, seeing what brand shingles they sell, seeing what kind of information they ask from you, and you ask them, how busy are you? Are you guys certified by the manufacturer? Because a lot of times roofing companies, the owners are there, but sometimes these roofing companies have they pay employees to be there and they're just not asking the right questions. So that's why it's on the homeowner. I say, look, come prepared to ask the right questions.
Right.
And, at that point, you make the decision whether you want to give them your information, invite them in your home, or just grab some brochures and say, hey, when I'm ready, I would be more than happy to invite you into my home, and I'll let you know when. It's that simple.
It's that simple. In fact, that leads to a secondary point that people don't think about, and that is, the home show is a great place to get ideas. So maybe right now you don't have a project in mind, but you want to get out. It's a great place to go. It's all on one floor. It's 68 degrees and sunny inside, as I like to say, and there's not a lot of places in southeastern Michigan in January you can say that, right? So come out and bring your cameras. I mean, everybody's got an iPhone now or, a cell phone. Take pictures, pick up brochures, because it may be something that you're saying, I'm thinking about doing this. Maybe this would work in our house, and I never thought of that. So get those ideas and get that information because, again, if you call them up 3 months from now and say, hey, I saw you at the home show, that's very important for them as well.
And that's what you need is the best way to do it. So how many exhibitors are there this year? Because the Novi Home Show this January is the big show.
It's our biggest show, and so we have over 300 exhibitors by the time we open the doors. I mean, we're still got 2-3 weeks before the show opens, so we're still selling booth space, believe it or not. And Brian and Elizabeth are working real hard to make sure that show floor plan flows real well. They expanded the venue there at Suburban Collection Showplace last year. We've got over 300,000 square feet under that roof that we're filling up with exhibitors.
Wow. And you guys do a great job. That's one of the things I want to tell you. Elizabeth, your whole staff, meeting with them, coordinating that. It's not easy.
No, it's not. It's a very complex.
Shout out, high five to them.
Absolutely.
You've put together a good team.
Thank you.
I being in the industry my whole life, I remember as a kid, the Kobo show.
Right.
And Rosalie picking me up on a golf cart because I was,
you were lost.
Exactly. And tell me, Adam, you're supposed to stay in your dad's booth, taking me to security and then the overhead,
Right.
calling my dad to come get me. I'll never forget that. And I remember wall-to-wall people.
Yep.
So it's interesting how, times have changed, but now it's more sophisticated, and homeowners who are serious about home renovation go out there. It's a great way to just get out of the house, get rid of that yellow fever, get out of the house and check it out. Now, there are other things at the home show besides just booths,
Right.
and we can talk about some of those.
Yeah, again, we talked a little bit in that first segment there about the features that we have. A lot that we do with our January show is centered around the inside of the house, so interior design. That's why we're bringing in Lori Smith from TLC, American Society of Interior Designers. And then, there's even some of those quote-unquote impulse buys. So, guys, if you're listening, hey, you want not a 4x4 truck, but, a four-wheeler, boat, jet skis and stuff. There's some of that there too. Hot tubs. My wife and I just bought a hot tub last year, 2019, I guess. So that is last year. Happy New Year, Adam.
Did you get a good tub?
Yeah, we did. And
There are great deals on tubs there.
great deals, and LED lights and integrated music and stuff. You hit it off your Bluetooth. It's pretty cool.
Lots of fun. Again, outdoor living's huge. Staycation is huge.
Yep.
Also, home exercise equipment. Your home gym is such a big, with the Peloton being so popular and people wanting to do this stuff at home, the home gym stuff. And I know you guys feature those people there as well.
Yeah, we do. So, and then mattresses and things of that nature. So anything you need to, take care of your home and remodel your home. And then everything you need inside the home pretty much is featured at the home show. So you can even get down to cooking utensils, pots, pans, etc. We have a large marketplace area, which has a lot of decorating things that you can purchase to outfit your home, from paintings to sculptures to clothing, actually. So,
Which is the best. And you got the guy that sells the beef jerky that I love.
They
what?
lose money when I'm there because I'm sampling that stuff.
Right? Well, I always get their bacon. They have really, really good bacon. Just a little tip, little secret. Go there and get the bacon while you're getting a roof.
There you go.
inside.
And if you're worried about, hey, wait a second, they're talking about food and stuff, and I've got this New Year's resolution, you will get your steps in at the show. If you walk up and down all those aisles, you're going to have 4 or 5 miles under your belt by the time you leave. So, and it's a very enjoyable time to do that. And there's a lot of activities for the kids as well. So, we have Home Depot there. Home Depot does all their projects on Saturdays in store. Well, guess what? They do those projects at the show as well. So kids are hammering and nailing and stuff, and it's a fun time.
Well, that's the best part. So the builders.org is the website. Michael, we'll see you. We're going to promote it again next week, too.
Yeah, we'll be on next week. I appreciate you having us on.
I'm a fan of the HBA. And if you're a professional contractor, you got to be a member, period.
I'm a fan of Adam Helfman.
Oh, well, thank you. I
You sign my
appreciate that.
T-shirt after the show?
Absolutely. Novi Home Show, January 24th to the 26th this year. NoviHomeShow.com. Thanks for coming on, Michael. We'll see you next week again.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Adam Helfman. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Great show. Next week we'll be back with more home improvement advice. Go to HireItDone.com if you need anything. I'm Adam Helfman. We'll see you next week.